Yeah, so go ahead and get started. So say thank you, everybody. I appreciate everyone joining us. This is probably the most hotly requested topic that Cynthia, our marketing lead, has received since the Christmas break, which is visa pathways to New Zealand. So very, quick agenda run through. I'll do an introduction as per usual. We're very lucky to have Aman, an expert here, to take us through visas to New Zealand. All the questions that Cynthia has collected over the past couple of weeks, I'll then have the opportunity to ask Aman and do a very brief closing. So who are we? I'm Ian. I'm the founder of Lotalingo, a global mobility marketplace. And we're very lucky to be joined today by an expert, Aman, who's a licensed immigration advisor with 1881 Global. So with that, Aman, I will hand it over to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Ian. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Aman from 1881 Global Mobility. This is a quick overview of how we help skilled professionals like yourself plan a compliant pathway to a career in New Zealand, starting with eligibility, of course, and then job search support. The goal today is simple. In the next 10 minutes or so, I will show you what the process looks like, what we do, and in some cases, what we do not do, and what you need to get started. We will have plenty of time in the end for a quick round of Q&As, so looking forward to this. As I mentioned, my name is Aman Jaspal. I am a senior licensed immigration advisor for New Zealand at 1881 Global Mobility. I work across New Zealand and Australia immigration strategy, mainly work visas, residence visas, business and investor visa categories. The main value I bring is clarity and risk control. People get stuck because they start with the job search first and then later discover that the role, the pay, or the evidence does not line up for visa purposes. So we try to reverse that. We confirm the pathway first and then build a job plan on top of it. So your skilled pathway to a skilled career in New Zealand. Now, one, you get licensed immigration advice for New Zealand and in some cases for Australia as well. Number two is we assess your role and visa pathways, including the Immigration New Zealand aligned requirements. And we look at residence options only if it is relevant to your profile. Number three, you get a job search toolkit, and if you want, optional recruiter-led assistance as well. And the key important line here is we do this transparently and compliantly. No job selling, no guaranteed outcomes. That protects you, and it also protects us. So who we are in practice, we are licensed immigration advisors. We have a recruitment and immigration background. We support both offshore and onshore clients, and the service is end-to-end if needed, starting with eligibility assessment, job readiness, employer coordination, visa lodgement, settlement support after approval. So we do all of that under one roof. Also, for people who want to do it themselves, we include a DIY tool, like a step-by-step video guides and templates. So even without really the assistance of a recruiter, you are starting, you can start your job search journey by yourself as well. Now, this is an important slide, so I will slightly slow it down. Now, in New Zealand, only licensed immigration advisors can give immigration advice. So the first benefit here is to reduce risk. We align your role, pay, evidence to what Immigration New Zealand actually checks. And secondly, you get written advice and the next step tailored to your exact profile, not your generic social media guidance. Now, the compliance promise. See, we do not charge for job offers. This is illegal in New Zealand. We also do not guarantee jobs or interviews. What we do is improve your visibility with tools, coaching, and a structured approach. So if you do get a job offer, it comes directly from an employer to you. You stay in control, and your invoice is defined services and milestones, and it's not outcome based. So most skilled migrants start with a work visa supported by a job offer. The most common employer-sponsored work visa here is the accredited employer work visa. So in simple terms, it is for skilled workers hired by accredited New Zealand employers. Processing times also in this case vary, and we confirm the current expectations at the time of lodgement. The key point here is this: you need a genuine job offer and a compliant employment terms. If either is weak, your application stands a risk of being declined. Once the work pathway is clear, we look at longer term options. Some roles sit on the green list and can have faster residency pathways, while other skilled roles can progress through the skilled migrant category if you meet the points threshold at the time you apply. And we plan the family piece early. In many cases, partners, dependent children can be included in your planning and may be eligible for linked visas, but it really depends on your role. It also depends on your pay, your visa condition, and the amount of evidence you're providing to your relationship. So the eligibility assessment report essentially will include a long-term pathway view where it is relevant, or just the work visa in some cases where the long-term pathway for residence is not available. Now, this slide is what clients actually receive before they start their job hunting. Uh, we start with document verification and a readiness check, then a 30-minute consultation with a senior licensed immigration advisor. Then you receive a contract of services and clear next steps based on your profile. Included in the eligibility assessment report is access to your DIY, which is do-it-yourself job search toolkit with training videos, templates, and employer lead updates. If you add our job assistance services, you also get a recruiter support, New Zealand optimized CV, video introduction template, our outreach and applications on your behalf, which are done by our recruiters, plus monthly sessions and progress reporting. So our team of recruiters will be updating you monthly on where your applications have gone, what's the feedback from employers, and if they're and they'll be coordinating interviews if there are any from employers with you for a smoother transaction. As a quick reminder, job assistance improves odds, but it does not guarantee a job. So please be mindful that you are not paying for a job here. It's just a service that you are utilizing. The last slide is very practical. So to begin with, you book the eligibility assessment, share documents for readiness checks, and then receive your report and action plan. After that, you either use the toolkit to apply directly, or you add job assistance for a structured outreach if you want to use the services of our recruiters in New Zealand. You only start the visa process once you actually have a job offer. What we need upfront is simple: passport bio page, your current CV, your qualification documents and transcripts, and any employment evidence like reference letters, pay slips, wherever they are available. So that was essentially my small presentation, and then I'm happy to take your question and answers now. Thanks, Ian.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the overview, Aman. So we have a ton of questions here. I think let's start with the seasonal visa questions, but these have been coming through a lot. So the first question is sort of general structure of the global worker seasonal visa, and also the peak seasonal visa. I think people just have some questions around maybe the differences between the two, as well as the overall structure.
Sure. So I'll take both of these questions regarding the general global workforce seasonal visa and the peak seasonal visa together. Both the global workforce seasonal visa and the peak seasonal visa sit under the seasonal accredited employer work visa framework. Well, the big idea is the same. you must have a full-time seasonal job offer from an accredited employer in New Zealand in a role that is relevant seasonal job list. So the role, it's important to know, that should be on the seasonal job list, and the employer sends you the job token link to apply. Um, Now, there's a big difference, slight difference between the global workforce seasonal visa, which I can share that. So the global workforce seasonal visa is the longer seasonal option. You can work up to 9 months each year under GWSV, and the visa can be valid for 3 years. So you can return for up to 3 seasons on the same visa, but you must spend at least 3 months outside of New Zealand in each 12-month period after you work for 9 months. So that's a condition on this visa. Um, it also has a higher experience threshold compared to the peak seasonal visa. In the GWSV, you need at least 3 seasons in the same or similar job within the last 6 years. So you need to show that to immigration. Now, moving to the peak seasonal visa, this is a shorter duration peak visa option. Uh, you can work up to 7 months in total in one or more peak seasonal visas. In this case, the experience requirements are lesser, obviously, at least one season in the last 3 years compared to 3 seasons in GWSV. So again, these are two important differences. Now, two important common points for both visas: you cannot include a partner or dependent children in both the visa options. And if you come back for later seasons, you are usually tied to the employer, occupation, and location on the visa unless you apply for a job change.
Yeah, and maybe just one quick follow-up on the peak seasonal visa is folks had were wondering if this particular visa type is restricted to specific types of employers or if it's sort of all New Zealand.
No, there are specific types of employers. So there is a specific list of occupations, and any employer which is accredited, which is offering that role, which is on the list, you can apply for that role. But it's important to know that this is only available to accredited employers, and the list is your role should be on the list of each of the seasonal visas.
Got it. And this is a publicly available list, right? We can go and search and find it.
The list is available on Immigration New Zealand's website, so
Got it.
everybody can check it.
Okay, so the next question is after the seasonal visa, say, someone gets it, is there a pathway to more stable or more long-term visas after that? Do you get, looked upon more favorably for a certain type of long-term visa after this, or is it very much separate from the existing pathways?
Well, you can look at other visa options also. So, for instance, for GSWV, you can work up to 9 months in a year, and the visa is valid for 3 years. So you have to spend at least 3 months outside New Zealand in this 12-month period. For PSV, the total time in New Zealand is 1 year, 1 season, and 7 months you have to be in New Zealand, and 4 months you have to be out of New Zealand. Now, once you've completed this visa option, the other option that you can, if you want, if you're looking for obviously a long-term stable job role, then you obviously have to move to the accredited employer work visa. Now, for that option, again, the employer has to be accredited. You need to have a valid job check, and you need to meet the requirements of the job check. So you are then essentially considered as applying for a full-time accredited employer work visa.
So for that was another one. It is sort of outside of these seasonal visas, right? This employment visa. Could you kind of sketch out maybe the high level eligibility requirements? What are employers normally looking for the more stable visas?
So again, just going back, let me clarify what exactly these visas are. So for a lot of you who are watching this, now when you're looking at what are the different long-term visa options, so let's think of the work visas in different buckets, right? So let's say the first bucket is employer-sponsored work visa. Uh, the main one being the accredited employer work visa. So for that, you need a job offer from a accredited employer, and you apply using the job token link from the employer. So that's one. Now, the second bucket is the seasonal work. This is where your PSV and the GWSV visas sit, which are seasonal versions under the accredited employer work visa framework. And these are based on the eligible job list, which are published on Immigration New Zealand website. And there are strict durations associated to these visas. Now, there's a third visa bucket, which is the study to work visa. So if you are someone who has studied in New Zealand and meets the qualifications and the timing rules of the amount of time you've studied in New Zealand, you can qualify for a long-term post-study work visa. Now, the fourth bucket is your partnership-based work, which is, for example, partner of a New Zealander work visa, or partner of a New Zealand resident, or it's partner, in some cases, partner of a New Zealand student visa, where eligibility is based on your relationship to your partner's visa status. So these, again, the fourth visa category of work. Now, the fifth is specific purpose. A specific purpose work visa can apply where there is a defined purpose or event, or you can show evidence that you have a specific skill to perform that event. So that's essentially there are the four main categories of visas that, work visas that you should be aware of that exist in New Zealand.
Okay, got it. This next grouping of questions is there's a couple of people. Okay, one of them is a hydraulic modeler. One of them studied aviation. So there's a grouping of questions from folks who are wondering if their specific role qualifies under the green list. Do we just point them to the publicly available sort of occupation list here?
Yes. So again, if you have a specific job role that you are doing, you need to understand that your job may be on the green list, but meeting the requirements of the green list is also another thing, right? So you need, just having a job, for instance, having a job on the green list doesn't automatically qualify you as a green list applicant. You For instance, if you're an IT technician or a teacher, right? Just getting a job offer doesn't automatically qualify you whether it is a green list direct pathway or a two-year work to residence pathway under the green list. You need to meet those specific requirements. Now, there's a lot of information which is available publicly, but for green list specific roles, we strongly encourage you to engage with the immigration professional who can really guide you requirements, and in some cases, what are the missing components in your application being not eligible for green list, so that you can actually fill in those missing components in your profile, or get that accreditation, get that specific skill set, get that certification, so that you do become eligible for green list. So that's something that we strongly encourage you get advice from skilled immigration advisors or lawyers.
Great. Okay, last two questions here. The first one of the last two is they have a partner. So they're going to study in New Zealand, and their partner is planning on applying for a partner work visa. Their goal is to enter New Zealand after 3 to 6 months. So I guess they're wondering a bit more, how does that partner work visa exactly, function?
See, again, like I mentioned, partner work visas are based on your relationship, not just your plans. So in most cases, Immigration New Zealand will want evidence that you are in a genuine and stable relationship. So these are two important words: genuine and stable. So you need to make sure that you are providing enough evidence that shows both these aspects of the test of the relationship are being met. And the other important test is that you both are living together. So the right approach is to check the study program first, then plan the timings so that your partner applies, and when you can really show the relationship and living together evidence.
Got it. Okay, the last question here is, what visa options are available after age 30?
After age 30, the main change is that many people no longer eligible for the working holiday visa. So you normally look at other pathways such as employer-sponsored visa options, or you can look at a study pathway, or again like a partner visa pathway, depending on your situation. If you are someone who's keen on doing business, Immigration New Zealand has just started their business investor visa also from December of 2025. Again, a great option. Does require investment. Obviously, you do need to invest at least $1 million New Zealand dollars into running your business. But if again that is something that you're keen on looking at, that again is an option available to you. So the right option really depends on the job offer, the occupation, your qualification and experience, and whether you have the link of a partner. A licensed immigration advisor can go through that and give you the assess your profile and give you the best pathway that is best suited for your case.
Fantastic. Well, that's all we've got time for today. So thank you very much for those watching and catching up later. And Aman, obviously, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your time with us here. For those of you who are coming to this a bit later, you can find Aman's profile directly at this link here, lottolingo.com/1881, and you can book a session with him.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks again, Ian, for giving me the opportunity. It was lovely connecting with everyone here.